ahead and get you guys this tune. My apologies for those who were waiting. I am definitely a little bit under the weather. Have been for a few days, so I took a little time down to get myself straight and shake it off. But we got back at it this evening here, and I wanted to make sure that I give you guys a decent base to start from those who are looking for a decent start on the S13. I think I've come up with something. It's a tricky chassis for sure, and there's some weird things going on we'll discuss here real quick. Um, I think there may be some bugginess going on with the car from some previous iterations of Gran Turismo, how the cars act. Some of the cars used to act when clutching in. You will get stalls and the car trying to straighten out and stuff like that. So you're gonna have to play it by ear with that. I tuned away from that as much as possible. Basically, with this chassis, if you stay on throttle as much as you can and just pay attention to where you're shifting, where you're clutch kicking at, it's very important. Um, Sometimes you need to shift a little earlier before transition and get on the throttle before you get deeply into the turn. I've noticed clutch kicks are a little bit better when you're coming out towards the exit of a turn or just past the apex. If you come in before the apex on a clutch kick, it'll kill the car. And that's hopefully they'll do an update and kind of fix that because other cars are a lot better with that. And this kind of feels like one of the older Gran Turismo, like it's an older port or something off of GT6 or something. Just the way the car responds to clutch and handbrake. Definitely be very careful with the handbrake as well. This Another thing I've noticed with this chassis is a lot of left foot braking. Will go a long ways. You definitely want to use your brakes, your foot brakes, with this car as much as you can versus your handbrake or the clutch. So keep that in mind when going in the corners, when negotiating corners, and negotiating transitions. This will get a lot of angle and it will come back. Took a while to tune that in there to where you can go over 90 degrees. Like if you've seen any of my Mustang stuff that I do with the Mustang and a couple of other cars, that I can get those chassis past 90 degrees and bring it back no problem in the transition. And I finally got this chassis to that point. Definitely though, pay attention to the left foot braking while you're doing that stuff. Sometimes you can do it off brake, but a lot of times you might need to give it a tap within the transition. Just time it right, practice with it. And I did this with the stock transmission, and I'm thinking about doing uh, a tune for the dual clutch transmission that they have in there, the sequential. So I'm thinking about that. If you guys want that, comment below, and I'll do a tune on that. Because some people are, probably not gonna want to mess with the standard transmission the way it acts if you're on a wheel. And just for notification, I did tune this on a wheel, but I've noticed in the past that it seems like these tunes port nicely to the controller for a lot of people. So give it a shot, play with it, modify it, and then like I said, if we probably can get a little more out of it doing a transmission tune, and I'm going to be thinking about that. And if you guys want to see that, just let me know, and I'll probably update to that. So um, other than that, if you want to see the car actually sliding in action, there's a couple of videos up now. Few from when it first came out and I drove it stock, and then I just did one. I was tandeming with Lex, chasing down his insanely fast RX-7 on Willow Springs Horse Thief Mile. So that's up right now, and then I'll get some more stuff up with the car. Just keep your eyes out. We'll definitely be doing some drifting tomorrow. Probably do some live streams or whatnot if you want to see how the car handles, and I'll probably throw up another VR drift now that it's tuned. Yeah, other than that, this is my as you see, my raggedy scraggly missile here with all the mismatched panels and everything. I think I'm going to keep that theme going. We're just going to have a lot of terribly raggedy cars. This is like Ibisu level S13 right here. And we're going to bring you the budget mobiles for sure. So anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. We'll have more tunes coming. I'm going to get to the tune now. If I can find my controller over here, because I'm going to use that. All right, let's see what we got. Alrighty. So first with the power, we're going to max that out, of course. And it's yeah, it's a struggle. Wish you had more, but you know, if you drive it right, watch your lines, you'll be surprised on what cars you can hawk on, especially on tracks like Suzuka East that everybody likes to run. You can run up on some cars. So anyway, max that power out all the way. On the weight, you know, I went back and forth playing with it. I started with stock weight. I've messed with it going to full weight off the car all the way at the bottom, but didn't like how that feels, so I put a little bit more weight back in it. We're at 2,663 pounds, so that's where we're at on that. And I think that's going to be important because since we don't have weight balance anymore, I think different weights may also bring with them different weight balances to the cars that we don't know is happening. So just slamming it and going, oh, we're going to take all the weight off or put all the weight on, can have a bigger effect than you think that it may have. I noticed when I came up a little bit to this mark, it seemed to balance out a little better. So, of course, traction control off. I did tune this on comfort hards. I would suggest using mediums or softs if you really want to have some fun. I'll probably be driving it on mediums and softs since they've done the new tire model upgrade. Those tires feel a lot better and a lot realer. Everything does, even down to the comfort hard. But right now, that's what we're going with. I know most of you guys like using comfort hard, so I tuned it fully on comfort hard. Brake balance. Yeah, we went 3 to the rear here. So 3 positive there, 3 to the rear. I noticed that it was kind of grabbing in the front. It's still, you want to be careful. It still can kind of be a little grabby, but 3 seems to be a nice balance. So, oh, driver 60 top, like my activity. Appreciate it. What else? Oh, we don't want to hit reset the default now, do we? Okay, so we'll start at ride height. We started slammed and worked our way up. Hoping that we can get a good look out of the car. I didn't have to have it sky high. So it's pretty low, as you can see. Went 3.70 in the front, rear 3.74. We're going to go natural frequency on your spring rate. It's going to be 1.85 in the front, 1.70 in the rear. Let's see. And I actually noticed, yeah, going back down on the spring rates allowed us to soak up a little more traction. They kind of changed that. It used to be kind of a little higher. Looks like going a little lower. At least with this chassis is better. Roll bars. It's mad stiff. 9 and 9 front and rear. That seemed to have the best effect. I've noticed with any kind of yaw on either end, instead of just soaking up, you know, some traction, it was kind of slingshotting the car around, so at any amount. So when I went on ahead and stiffened it up evenly, it seemed to work out pretty nice. And if you guys are, let me mention as well, if you guys are noticing with this car, you know, when you get it to angle and you're trying to transition, it feels weird. It feels snappy once it gets to a certain area and just unpredictable, and you know, it's not smooth in the transition. It's like it's, all the weight's in the front or whatever, however it feels. I did attempt to tune that out. I believe I got it down pretty far. It's transitioning pretty smoothly. So I'm really liking how it's transitioning. Like I said, it's close to my Mustang with being, and that thing's smooth on transition. Like I said, I can back that in 90 degrees, beyond 90 degrees, and bring it back like nothing. So it's in that category. So a lot better than stock. Dampening ratios, compression in the front 62, in the rear 60, and then of course we pressed it into the pavement down here with the dampening ratio, the rebound. It's going to be 95 in the front, 93 in the rear. All right, and we went pretty aggressive on the camber. Pretty aggressive. I was trying to work as many tricks as possible to get some side bite going down, because as you notice, the car likes to linger in the corners stock, and as you're trying to tune it, come up from there, it likes to linger, and I tried to get as much as that out of it as possible so you can, try to hurry up to get the forward traction going. So that helped a little, as well as tying it in with the rest of the suspension. But yeah, we had 3.7 in the front, 3.0 in the rear. Toe, just kind of a little odd setup here, but it seemed to work pretty damn good. But we got 0.01 out in the front, and that is, let's see, yeah, 0.01 out in the front. And then we got in 0.08 in the rear. Moving on down to the diff, which is very important. Very important. Trust me, I know. So, from personal experience. But that'll be a new video coming soon. You're going to want to see that. But, so we got the LSD torque is 53. We got LSD acceleration sensitivity is 38. LSD braking sensitivity is 25. Just had to play with that to get the right mix. Those are definitely not random numbers. I had to play with that for a while. As you see, we got the stock transmission in here, and we're definitely going to go to that full customizable at some point and work with that. Like I said, if you want to see that, let me know in the comments, and I'll do it. Because if not, I'll probably do it and not do a video for it, just so I can have that little bit of advantage on any of you out there using my tune. So anyway, let me go ahead and see. So we recap. We're going to go ahead and show you everything else on the screen once again. And for you guys using a wheel, my force feedback is 5, and I think the force feedback sensitivity is 2, I believe, right now. I had it up 1, but for this car, it was kind of aggressive, so I went down to a 5. And it feels pretty good. Auto rotates nicely. But yeah, I think that's gonna be wrapping it up for this tune. Let me see what we got here. So I would definitely once again advise you to employ left foot braking with this chassis. It likes it. You'll be amazed on certain entries where, especially if you guys are using a wheel, anybody using a wheel, you don't want to try to enter off of clutch or off of a clutch kick or try to clutch kick anywhere in the middle of a corner. You want to be on throttle and left foot braking as much as possible. Sometimes you can't avoid it. You gotta, if you're chasing somebody, you might have to get in on the clutch and tap the handbrake, but try to stay away from them as much as possible. Keep it on throttle, left foot brake, and you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. So with that, I'll wrap it up. I'll do another video, like I said, to showcase it driving, and there's already something up from the live stream I just did a second ago as I finished the tune with Lex. So check that out as well, and like, comment, and subscribe if you like this kind of content. I'm probably going to drop a lot more tunes for the cars that drop. I'm gonna go back through the catalog, of what we have, and start posting up some tunes, and we're just gonna keep it going from there. So anyway, turn your notifications on, and we will see y'all in a minute.